Well, right back with the US action phase. Just before I do, big shout out of congratulations to John Brown, who dusted off his copy of DD at Omaha Beach to give it a try again, and just posted his results of what is that called? A victory within the first part of the game. A decisive US victory if you get 25 or more victory points when you check in the first part of the game, turn 16. I find that rather amazing. I suppose I think the likes of John and Martin have played the game that many times that they're probably thinking about trying to go for that. However, there was a couple of things that I never thought about, and he posted his results. I was saying, "Oh, wait a minute, John," and then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, John." Nobody else has come back and made any comments, so I'm hoping his score does stick, because it would be a shame if somebody come along and spotted something. But I had a good look, and even though I thought there was a couple of issues, when I eventually looked at them more carefully and read some of the rules, he did indeed, in my eyes, get that 25 points, which is pretty impressive. He gained 2 draws, so you get 5 points for each draw within the first part of the game. I think he got 10 WM positions, and then 5 reinforcement positions. And then this was one of the things I stopped and was scratching my head about it at first, but this may have been one of the hexes that he took and controlled, and as you can see, there's no VP mark in this hex. But however, this is in the first part of the game, so you still score points for them. And I was thinking, wait, now they've not got VP in their hex, John, but it's because that's the first part of the game. Most of the VP marked hexes are further inland. Most of them, not all of them, but harder to get to and achieve much result with. So it was just a bit to sort of say something about that, and then I realised, although he's won the game and he was playing the full game, he still gets to score them in the first half of the game. It's only when you then move into the final score and that these don't count for victory points. So so that was good. And the other one though, but I'm kind of glad I spotted this, because this is not a rule that I've paid much attention to, and I clearly should. It's communication. Yeah, there we go. And now, where was it? Where was his situation? It was a double hex position. No, I can't. Was it further along? I want to say it was maybe the green position here. No. Well, if I'd looked at the picture beforehand. Actually, you know what? I think it was 62, WN 62. And he had a tank. He had a tank beside this hex. So that was fair enough. But then he had a 2-step infantry unit or something like that in there, in the draw. And then I looked at first and I thought, well, remember, that's on the low ground, John. This is on the high ground. This is, you're not going to control that hex. And then you need to control them both to get the 2 points for that. So I looked at that first, and then I thought, right, this guy knows how the game works, so let's not put my foot in it. So I just double checked the rules, and when you're checking for under 13.22, a hex is considered in US control. Well, we know all the normal purposes that it needs. I'm not going to read through that, but there's a bullet at the end that says a hex is also considered in US control for victory purposes if US communication can be traced to it and German communication cannot, and the hex is not on German field of fire. Basically, the hex is behind secure US lines, and this was the case. He had this hex behind the lines. There was no field of fire in it. there was no US unit actually exerting a control into it. However, US communication was traceable down to the beach, and the way he had these other units placed, German communication was not traceable to that hex. So that satisfies control in that hex. And that is not something that I put an awful lot of thought into. And it makes me wonder about my first game. I mean, I think Martin or John would have picked that up if I had maybe had control of a hex without actually realising it. But so I just have to go with that, I think. Well, it does tempt me to look back on the video footage just in case that I might have missed that. Because it's not sort of something that you straight up think about, but if you can cut off German communication to a hex and have US communication to that hex, it's in your control. That's all you need. A hex is also considered in US control. This is only for victory point purposes, mind you. If US communication can be traced to it and German communication cannot. Sorry, I had the cough there. And the hex is not in a German field of fire. So, yeah, really good. So I'm glad I never put my foot in that and said, John, that's on the lower ground and you're on this is on the high ground. So, but that's amazing, like, to get that. So it is doable, and that's the first time. But I think John said he'd been quite close to it before. So it's obviously when he starts playing that game, it's in his mind to try and go for it, you know. I'd be happy with just just a normal victory, John. Anyway, good stuff. Well done. Right, so where are we? US action phase, aren't we? Yes, indeed. We are. So what are we going to do? Okay, well, I'm going to look here first, because I know this is something I definitely want to do. I want to get this ranged infantry in range of this, because this red position is probably the biggest priority we've got on the map. So we're going to have to take that out so we can control this draw and get all this stuff up on the high ground. So we definitely want to do that. And it's quite nice to have garrisoned that. It might not be relevant, mind you. Actually, we might have stuff round about. So, but what else on top of that then? We know we also want to try and go for this brown position, but I think it's more about getting these guys into position. We could be starting to do that now, though. Yeah, hang on. Because remember, it means we're going to have to activate this as part of the first division next turn. But we've got the general there anyway. So, just getting a free move. Well, yeah, I mean, I can only assume that he's beside the general. You know, I know they're from different divisions. I know this general's over that other sector. But what do you do there, guys? Well, you know what? The game's done anyway. So, but please let me know if because this general's on the other side, do I need to be activating this as part of the 29th Division because I'm getting the free move from the general that's on the other side? Or can I just say, well, I'm on this sector, I'm on the 1st Division, I'm adjacent to a general, I can get a free move. I think going by how I would read the rules, although you never know, there could be something in there to catch you out with that, but that seems to me like I should be able to just take a free move from this general and move this guy into here. Now, do I want to do that yet, though? Because we do want to create the flank, don't we? Yeah, that's a problem. This is a bluff here. So we cannot attack from there. So to get the flank, we need to move into here, which means this guy can only move into here just now. So do we try and keep that to next turn? Well, the thing is, we could probably position ourselves to have a look at this guy. What if he doesn't have flank though, and then he escapes? Because if I do this and then move this into here, we've got 14 strength. We've got 20 strength attacking next turn, assuming, etc. Of course. I think that might be worthwhile positioning them there though. And then now, do I have the ability to safe? Is it safe to move that into there? There's no 2-hex move into there though for this guy. I think that means there's going to be a risk in moving this. Well, actually, C2. Right, it's not got a road. Because that's one thing if we happen to get on the second event to try and reinforce. Remember, we've no reinforcements in the box now. Because that guy came back out again. So, as I talked about last turn, all the German positions, reinforcement positions, have units in their field of fire. So none of them would try and redeploy to this hex. So if I move that into there, well actually if that moves into there, does that not stop communication trace anyway? It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I think I moved that into there because we want to start preparing for the flank on the brown position. Yeah, and I think it actually makes sense to move this guy into here as well. Not sure what I'm going to do with these guys. Well, these were a concern before, weren't they? Because they're from the other side, and these are catastrophic loss potential. So, yeah. Well, I know I could say, well, we don't care about that anymore, but that's a bit unfair because I don't want to take any more losses, or then it's becoming a bit of a joke to carry on. So I probably should just try and protect the guys. What I'm trying to say is, if that other guy that got hit had managed to get through and got to safety, I can't then start saying, well, we don't care about the rest of them. Well, that means they're not going to move at all, are they? I don't think. Because they don't want to move into brown steady fire. They could come in here, but what good is that? And that's in sporadic brown, actually. Well, it's an action to to move them anyway. Now, can I safely move my... I might not want to though. I might want to just leave the general there. Let's see, I could safely move my general into there. I think I could. Going by what I've just spoke about. Well, communication is not traceable with that. German communication can't be traced out of that hex. I don't think. Well, that is until something gets hit. However, remember, as soon as the German fire phase begins, that's when you would check for German communication to certain hexes. So, I remember reading that one, which is quite a good one. Yeah, but I think I probably want the general here, or in fact, maybe in here, because I think this guy's going to move into here, isn't he? Okay, let's move along a little bit. I think, well, no, mind you, still got this stuff back here, Grant. What are we doing with this? Oh yeah, this can get in range of that as well. well, slightly riskier hex it's going into, but yeah, and this is an important guy because if he does take a hit, then we can't make the attack next turn anyway. I'm not so sure I want to risk these guys going into here. I don't think we need it. We've got 20 strength, and like I say, if that guy gets hit, then we're not making the attack, so... Oops. So, it's free moves from HQs. Right, we're moving across the other side here, though. Yeah, this is all kind of tricky, because I'm getting free moves from this HQ, though, so... Does it matter? No, it doesn't, does it? So shouldn't I just 2 hex move into here then with this guy? And then, what's this guy? Make a wee dash up to D7 there or something like that. We've got this, oops, we've got this purple position appeared though. That was a redeploy, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we were starting to think about maybe just bypassing that and then just heading up that way. Well, I still want to head towards D7 though. So I did wonder. I remember I was looking. That was before this. This was the reinforcement that came back from that withdrew. That's where he appeared. But before that arrived, I thought, why aren't we maybe having a go at this draw? Because we've got a lot of stuff that could go around that blue position. And I did kind of think maybe I should be giving it a go, but I think since that's arrived there now, it just makes it, yeah, even worse, I think. Yeah, well, I do think I should just get these guys moving. So a free move from this HQ, 1. Now that's just sporadic blue that's moving into. There's no blockage problems, so, and then 2 into there. So a 2 hex move. Yeah, no issues with that. And then these guys... Yeah, these guys are going to 2 hex move 1. Ooh, that's leaving that WN position. Well, there you go. Is that not something these units could maybe do to help? Garrisons don't exert a control, do they? Just in the hex they're in, I would assume. Yeah, sure not. Right, what about garrisons then? Garrisons prevent the appearance of German units in unoccupied WN and reinforcement positions, and such positions are in US control for victory purposes at the end of play. Okay, so they don't actually control the hex until it's victory purpose. Well, mind you, if nothing can be placed in the hex that they're in, then that kind of covers it. Now, let's just see if I did move these 2 guys away into there. Communication, remember this is high ground, this is down the low ground, so it would be able to trace into there. However, it wouldn't be able to there, and it wouldn't be able to there. Yeah, actually that's okay, isn't it? I don't have any issues. I can move these 2 guys into here. And that was a 2 hex move from here. 1, 2. Yeah. And then we'll 2 hex move the HQ into here. That lets that general go and push on if you want. Well, yeah, I probably want to leave this guy here though, don't I? Think. Right, well, that's pretty much that side of the first division. So, I don't know about this yet. Excuse me. So I do still want to control these hexes, which means maybe one of these guys going into this hex and maybe just sitting there. However, this tank could probably take care of that eventually. And then the base, engineer base, could probably garrison them anyway. Okay, well, I'll have a look at that in a bit. So let's move further along. So we're done there. Right, again, well, we've got a range up to 5 from the engineer base, but and it allowed us garrison 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this hex would be cleared if it wasn't for the fact that this is still firing in it. So we cannot clear this until we take care of this. So this is when we need to make a move on that. And I think now is the time, isn't it? And we worked it out that this moving into here, this moving into here, and even if they both took a hit next turn, we would still have enough firepower, as long as nothing happens to this. We still have enough firepower to get that depth marker and disrupt that unit. I'm pretty sure we worked it out on that, didn't we? Well, if you think about it, 2, 6, 13 against 8. So we're greater than, and we would have the weapons. Yeah, because he brings the Browning and the machine gun as well. So just in case this guy flips and doesn't bring a Browning, which he doesn't actually. So now, is this in command? The command post 1, 2, 3, 4 noise just outside. So that is going to be an action, but I think it's an action we're taking. So into there. Now, communication trace. No. No. Yes, but he's nowhere to go, is he? Yes, yes. Oh, hang on. I'm saying he's nowhere to go, and look at this. So he could trace into there, he could trace into there. He can't trace down into the pavilion, which is adjacent to basic. He could trace into there, he could trace into there. However, he then cannot trace up to there, because we've got that guy, and well, these are on the lower ground though, so it's only that guy. And these might be moving elsewhere, so that's still okay though. Yeah, I've got that general maybe to move. Okay, so I think, right, and this guy, he is within range of the command post. So are we doing this? I think we are. Because if red doesn't fire, we take that out in a 1-hour as well. And I'm still not sure about this stuff. I mean, I did think one of these probably would have been better to come down and help here, but I think we've got it taken care of. I don't think we need to. And yes, I'd love to make a dash with these guys, because I'm going to look at the victory points again. It is per step, that, isn't it? One victory point for each armour or regular infantry step that moves off the map. Yeah. And what is the one that's on the high ground? 1 victory point for every non-infantry, non-HQ unit. No, right, that's not step. No, that's a bummer then. Yeah. So it doesn't mean this guy that's 3 steps still only going to be worth 1 victory point unless I can get him off the map, which I cannot. At least I'm pretty sure. Yeah, because they only get to move 1 hex, no matter what. So no. Yeah. So I mean, getting these off the map, these 3 units. Does this guy have time? Just look at it now. This is what, 26. If I don't make my move until next turn, that's like 27, 28, 29. I might be off camera here. 30, 31. Well, you know what? He does actually make it. If we wait, like I say, 27. He can move 2 hexes each turn because he's going to be on the road. So this would be 28, 29, 30. Oh, I must have counted that wrong. Oh no, 20, it's 27. I'm talking about moving them. So 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, and then 32 is off. So we do need to start moving these next turn. Well, certainly this one. But that's worth 9 points if we can make that happen. So that is pretty good. It's just we need to protect these hexes. Well, I'm probably just going to have to take a chance and next turn just go for it. I think so. I mean, I could move them up just now, but I think I'm leaving this. Going to leave this hex vulnerable. Oh, but what if we just talked about Grant? Although that is on a road. So could an armour unit be placed in there? Maybe. No, it doesn't like trace off of an A exit though, does it? Right, where's this optional armour rules again? So this path may not pass through a hex occupied by or in control of a US unit. Yeah, I never took that into consideration, but that, yeah, the armoured unit that we posed already is fine. Hexes that can only trace to entry-exit hexes A, F, or G do not qualify. So this road goes up here, and then it would... In fact, it can't really trace, can it? Because we've got units on this road. See, this is where you need to look even more into it. Yeah, I think I can move that guy safely. Because, yet again, all the positions have units in their field of fire, so nothing can redeploy there, and with no reinforcements in the reinforcement box. And as I've just looked at, the armour can't appear there. Because it wouldn't be able to trace down a road. Yeah. It's just main roads or secondary roads, isn't it? Yeah. Right, it was way there again. Yeah, I'm just a bit wary about it. Is my thinking right there that if I go 1, 2... I mean, yes, German communication is traceable to that hex. Oh, yeah, this is the other thing, which I kind of maybe didn't think about. Ambushes can always happen. I've always just looked at it and thought, well, there's nothing to reinforce or nothing can redeploy there. And that is the case at the moment. There's no units in the reinforced pool. All the units have units in their field of fire, all the reinforcement positions. So they're not going to try and redeploy. But I mean, if I do that, it lets me move this guy on, and then lets me move that guy on. There's a wee bit of riskier jump here though, because this is 3 hexes, but I don't really like to secure that hex. Then I could maybe sit there. Again, as long as we don't get... Now, could a tank appear there then? Yeah, that's a C. Yeah, it could. That would be nasty. But you know what? If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. 1, 2, 3. Right, that guy's going to get a free move as well. So let's just see if I got this right. So then he would free move into here. Then we would need another action for that guy. We're going to use up our action. Oh, actually. Oh, wait now. 1, 2, 3, 4. That doesn't stretch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that doesn't stretch. Oh, okay. That's a snag. We've run out of actions. I mean, unless I don't move that guy yet, but... Yeah, it's going to be tougher next turn as well, because it's only going to be that guy that's going to get a free move. This is the reason Martin was talking about, position 1 HQ command post and then 1 further closer to where you're heading. Or if I'd done it this way, put an HQ up here somewhere so that they then daisy chain on, Okay, well, just leave that sitting just now and we'll just look at some of the other pieces of the puzzle here. This isn't doing anything. Oh, right, he was disrupted. So, again. So that can come off. This guy here is disrupted as well. The guy underneath. That was a bit of a bummer. Because we were, that was going to be one of our actions to move them both as well, wasn't it? Now I'm only going to get them to move 1. I wonder if I should wait on that then. Sorry, I've got a bit of sore throat. I've actually got COVID in the house, so I don't know if Tracy has it, apparently. So, I don't know. I done one of the wee test things, but it came negative, so... But, I don't know, it's maybe just in my head when you're close to somebody that's got it, you maybe start thinking the worst and make yourself feel unwell. Okay, anyway. Yeah, I don't know if I should wait or not. I mean, I could get these into position now, because it's going to take a lot longer for this guy. We can't 2-hex move. He's going to move into here, then slowly move into here, move into here. It's all kind of slow process, really. Although he could go up the road here. 1, 2, 1, 2, and then 1. So that might be better actually, because he's going to move 1, 2, 3 to get adjacent there, where he could do 1, 2, and then 3 or 3 to get adjacent there. And we've no worries with us. This is Garrison now. So, yeah, I think I'll do that. And, yeah, he gets a freebie. Plus, it's keeping them closer to the command post, so he'll get another free move. So, let's go with that. 1, 2... does that mean I can move that little guy? I don't think so, because... Yeah, because I'm going to move this guy out. Starting to think I maybe should have kept this back here just now. Well, it's still going to take 2 more turns to get this guy involved. I think I would have done it, though, if I was getting both these. If I was getting the 12 strength. Enable gunfire is... Both the units have a radio. What happens if they flip? Oh, that's no good looking at that side graph. So what is it? A1 16. Can't find it. Right, hang on. Well, A116 has a bazooka, but fortunately this guy actually keeps the radio. However, we are going to be disrupted as well, so you've got that to survive through. I think we probably need to make the move though, eh? Yeah, sorry, I was away again. Distracted. So the problem with moving this, I mean, yes, I'd like to get this into here and then just secure that, and then we've got 2 hex move, and I'm not sure, can you 2 hex move off the exit, or do you need to be... that's worth looking at. I'm not sure if there's anything that says that. I don't really see anything. I mean, it looks like it's on the road, you know. You would think you could just 2 hex move off. Well, I was looking there though, just to confirm. 19.4 says beach obstacle demolition. All beach obstacles and mid-tide waterline hexes are considered cleared beginning on turn 24 and remain cleared for the rest of the game, whether or not engineered bases are present. So there you go. We could have removed all the clear markers on beginning on turn 24. So, yeah, I don't know if I could 2 hex move from C9 up there. 1, 2 off the map, or if I would have to do it in 2 separate turns, which is quite important, I suppose, to know. I kind of feel like I should be able to just 2 hex move off because I'm on the road, but I don't know, I don't see anything. So if somebody sees this and there is something written somewhere, let me know, please. So yeah, what was I getting at there? Yeah, my problem is that once I move, although I've left this hex and I'm comfortable that nothing can come and go into that hex, apart from an ambush an ambush action could occur. Yeah. Does that affect... I don't think ambush affects leader's command post, does it? So... no, I don't think so. Yeah, because it needs to have the target symbol, and obviously the command post doesn't have that. Yeah, what I mean is, if I start moving these guys further on, I'm taking risks leaving these empty, and bear in mind, something's got to control them. I've got to have some control of them by the end of the game. So is there any point moving that first unit up then? And just wait until the next turn. I don't know. Yeah. I could still move this to here though, and then move it into here and leave these guys there until things progress. I guess I'm struggling with actions here. I've got 2 action markers left, and if I want to do this, it's going to use 2 action markers. I'm just not that sure that I want to do this. I think I do, because I think this is going to take too long. Does it mean we're going to need 2 actions next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? So we're going to have to be wary of that. Yeah, but I think we do need to get on with this to see if we can take this, because I think our actions are going to dry up pretty quick. Yeah, they are. I think we're going to struggle. So I think I will leave that guy up there. I will move that into there though. Just hopefully, if there's an ambush in there, can ambush take out garrisons? Don't think so. Again, it needs to be a unit, doesn't it? Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I don't see it. It needs to be a unit that's in the field of fire, doesn't it? Yeah. So if it did ambush there, it's got nothing to hit. So I think we're okay. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to leave that, and then we're going to take a chance with this. We're going to get this moving. I suppose there's risks with A3 as well. Of course, this is the one that I keep going on about, that I should be able to garrison. I can't. Silly boy. Well, I've got to remember what I just said about what John Brown had brought to my attention, that for scoring purposes, as long as German communication is not traceable to this and US communication is, then we still control that hex. So right now, I mean, that's only for victory point purposes though. German communication, I can trace along here, can it? You know what, I can trace round and out and away. So communication is traceable if I move that unit to there. Again, we could end up you could end up with ambush action there, so that could potentially hurt, because he's in brown. I think I've got to just take the chance, so. Oops. Yeah, I would have liked to have been moving both the units down, but hey ho, that's how it goes. So move in there. Hopefully orange doesn't fire next turn. Hopefully orange is not on the card, and we can use that naval gunfire. Fingers crossed, and then we can have a look at what's going on there, and hopefully this unit can come and help if need be. We still have that other guy there, but again, it's the action thing, and I was hoping to have both of them in there, both of them attack, and that's what makes me think I should wait, but just go for it. We've got the gunfire marker, so if I didn't have that, I would have to wait in that unit, so... Okay. Well, a couple of risks there, but again, like I've said about the no reinforcements, to be able to reinforce here, or units able to redeploy, unless I'm forgetting about something. There can, however, be an ambush action that could affect this, because this is in brown steady fire. So we don't want to see that either. If a brown comes up, we don't want an A on it. Right, I think that's everything. Just going to have a wee pause because I'm going to cut this now, I think. And I know the last time it went a lot quicker in the west, so we might be able to still just join them both together like I did the last time, but I have taken a wee bit more time this time. So just give me a sec. Yeah, this is one other thing I started looking at there, is this guy could have moved into C5, couldn't he? Which is another victory point hex. I don't think we should get distracted from that, and I think we should just hope that nothing comes up here. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, I hope nothing. I mean, yeah, I think it looks like one of the tanks could appear here, one of the armoured units, if it happened to be. But I think we should just, hopefully, once this red position taken out, the rest of the stuff cannot come and try and get C5 and C7, D5 here as well. So, yeah, I don't think we should be distracted. These guys are worth 9 points if they can get off the map. So, I think that's their priority. Okay, right, I'm going to take a pause though. Wait a minute. Well, you know what, I've no actions left, so if we are going to move them, it's going to be with... Well, that's a good thing about that though, is I'm talking about the 29th guys here. These guys. Yeah, I would like them to come up here though, because there's still plenty to do up there. But this is where I feel like maybe no, I don't know how to put it. You know, if I knew I was sitting with one unit away from catastrophic loss, then this would be a silly move. As I've already reached catastrophic loss, part of me thinks, well, it doesn't matter, but I don't want to be sitting thinking that way. So I think if I do have the action to spare, I may well move them into here and then bring them up and around. I know we were talking about this, but hopefully the engineer base is getting placed next turn, and hopefully that should be... We'll just need to watch communication trace for that though as well. Okay, well, I've no actions left anyway, but I could use an action from the other side to activate these two guys and maybe move them, or one of them maybe. We shall see. Right, I'll cut that for now, guys, because that might end up... I just put that out as a part, depending on how long the other bit takes, but we'll see. Okay, cheers.